Today we are rebuilding our first ever Welsh team.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Although it does have the English badge there, which I don't know why. I'm guessing it's because they're in the English League, but of course Swansea is in Wales. It's a different country.
First Welsh team to be in the Premier League as well.
It is indeed, yeah. And it's quite funny actually how they managed to overtake Cardiff towards that. Because I think Cardiff was on the cusp for ages.
Yeah, they were,
Swansea beat them to it.
They got there via the playoff finals. They beat Reading 4-2, which was one a bad game, no?
Yeah, absolutely. They've obviously had a little bit of pedigree as well in the Premier League. They've had some quite outstanding managers as well. When you look at the time that they spent in the Premier League, they've had a little bit of success as well in cup competitions. We can see down here they won a Carabao Cup, which I actually forgot about until we did this. 2013.
They won that 5-0, I believe, and it is the record for the biggest win.
Yeah, in that cup final. Yeah. And obviously they've actually played in Europe as well.
Yes.
So first Welsh to play in Europe.
They got as far as the last
English leagues.
The last 32 they got into.
Yeah.
And they got knocked out by a big team.
Yeah.
Napoli.
Yeah.
But they held them to a 0-0 draw at home.
Yeah.
And they lost away. I think it was...
They had a decent side.
Yeah.
Like, they had a very good team.
Yeah.
So, we're going to rebuild them today.
They've had some good teams, or players, and they've had some good managers.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I was surprised when I looked through the managers, what managers kept on popping up. And things like that, and I think, God, most of them were Graham Potter.
Graham Potter was one,
I've got all about him being there. Yeah.
Brendan Rodgers.
That was the biggest surprise.
Yeah, that was when he first burst onto the scene, because the football he was playing at Swansea, unbelievable.
Yeah, and that's when he went to Liverpool then.
Yeah.
And it was a shame really, because they were doing so well with these certain managers, and that's when they would leave to go to the bigger teams then. And it was a shame really.
Yeah, I feel like that's what's happening with Brighton.
Yeah.
Like Chris Hughton was amazing at Brighton, and he got nabbed away, and then his career plummeted.
Yeah.
Same as Potter. I mean, he's not doing too well at Chelsea at the minute, although they basically bought every single good player in the world.
Yeah.
And then De Zerbi. I mean, I know De Zerbi's got a pedigree overseas, but everybody in the UK who's never heard of De Zerbi is like, what a manager! Like, this guy's like putting off results out of nowhere, whilst having all of his players taken away from him. And I feel like in a year's time, we're like, oh, De Zerbi's gone for a big job, has he? I think it's just going to be one of those things. Maybe Brighton and Swansea have a lot of correlations going on there. But yeah, we're going to try our best with Swansea. They're only in the Sky Bet Championship, so it's not too much of a rebuild. And I don't think they've actually fallen too low in that championship.
No, they're about mid-table.
They just never been able to bounce back up.
No.
Their finances aren't bad, but they're not great. They do have a slight debt, but of course, you get one promotion in the Premier League, that'll probably just be wiped.
Yeah, definitely.
Because of the money that you can get in the Premier League across just one season alone. So I have made one transfer because the money is not there at the start, but it was a free transfer, and I couldn't help myself. We have Hatem Ben Arfa, formerly, of course, of PSG, but of course he's played for Hull, he's played for Newcastle, Marseille, Lyon when he was coming through the ranks. Yeah, he is not the best player now mentally. I think he's 35.
35,
but in his prime,
isn't
he was fantastic. The technicals kind of relate to that. I just think he kind of had a bit of a bad attitude and maybe some bad luck when he was in his prime. He had all the talent.
Yeah.
He just never quite made it.
No.
But in the Championship, I'd like to think that he would maybe trying to rejuvenate, just have a good season.
Yeah.
Have a good season.
That's all we need out of him, really, yeah.
So he is my one and only signing for Swansea. Let's take a look at the tactic. Now, I don't really know much about this side in the Championship. I don't follow the Championship as much as maybe I should, but this is the lineup that I'm going for. When I took over as manager, it suggested this formation, to be honest. And then when I started building the tactic, I was like, oh yeah, they've got quite a lot of players for this formation. So I ended up building the tactic kind of around that. There's three at the back with two wing backs. The two DMs, I kind of like that this year. I feel like the two DM roles really suit better than two centre midfield roles. I don't know why. It's just that Foot Manager's strange like that. Sometimes, some years, just better than others.
It's an hard league to play in the Championship, isn't it? And so you've got to make sure you don't give too much away. Yeah,
exactly. But this is obviously going to be helping the forward line, the two advanced midfielders, who will also drop back on defend.
Yeah.
And then we've got this man, Michael Obafemi, who, Irish 22-year-old, he's really pacey, and for lower leagues, that's deadly. It's good enough anyway in Foot Manager alone. But in lower leagues, it's so good.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
He can't make up his mind what nationality he is. He's played for Ireland for 4 caps.
He got 3 parents, that's why he can't make his mind up.
He's also English, he's also Nigerian. He's like, which one's my dad? Both. So, Hatem Ben Arfa and Obafemi, I want playing every single game possible. The rest, I'm kind of happy to just let that be. It might be a little bit risky with Ben Arthur's fitness, obviously being the age that he is, but I guess he would just be the guy who comes off every single game.
Yeah.
Because I think his quality will shine through in the Championship. Of course, we will be in cup competitions, but nothing to do with Europe, etc. And we're not really expecting to get far in the cups.
No.
I think our sole focus is going to be on the Championship and hopefully get ourselves promoted in the Premier League within the first few seasons. Then we can see what we can really do in this rebuild. So, unless you've got anything you want to chuck in early,
No, carry on. Yeah.
let's simulate this first season. Oh, no, we need to check first the schedule. How we've been getting on so far. Because I need to actually show it because it's quite good. We started off beating Rotherham.
Right.
2-0.
Go on then. Keep going.
Blackburn, a 2-2 draw. And that was the only points we dropped in the league. Other than that,
Go to Norwich.
The Norwich
There's a little
game.
story with Norwich to do with Swansea's mascot,
Okay.
Cyril the Swan.
Yeah.
He got banned for 2 games
Why?
because he attacked one of the Norwich directors. so the league banned him for 2 games.
Is it one of
He
those
was like
funny
a,
ones? Yeah. Just chasing him.
Yeah.
Wasn't even on a pitch.
No.
They just went to feed some
So
ducks.
yeah, he had a bit of a to do with one of the directors. Had a bit of a go at him for something, and so they banned him for 2 games.
Was it like a funny ban, or was it like the FA took it really seriously?
I think the FA took it seriously.
Oh, spoiled sports name. Bunch of knobs they are. Right, so that was our only bad result, really, this kind of like start of the season, because it was in the EFL first round. It was only a penalty loss as well. But other than that, I mean, the Championship results have been fantastic. A 2-0 against
That's what we've got to
Blackpool.
concentrate on.
Yeah, a home game against Millwall, 2-0 as well. Luton 2-1.
See those
and then Middlesbrough away from home, 3-0.
I'm going to say, you look at the last 2 results there. At present, at this moment, that's 2 hell of good results.
Yeah.
Because those 2 teams at this present moment are playing so well.
Oh, Michael Carrick's
What a job he's done, isn't he? Yeah. Brilliant.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Man United legend. So, a fantastic start to the season. We're first in the Championship. How long will it last? Now we'll simulate the first season. Okay, first season, we're in 4th place, but we did not gain promotion through the playoffs. That goes to Hull City in 5th place there. So we can find out. They played Blackburn in the final, stuffed them 4-0. Don't like Blackburn anyway because they sacked me. Semi-final was how far we got, and it was Hull City again, who you can't argue probably deserved to go up after they demolished us 7-3 on aggregate. And Middlesbrough was the team that Blackburn knocked out. That's a fantastic semi-final, by the way. 5-4 on aggregate. I mean, yeah, fair play. So if we took a look at the league campaign itself, I mean, let's go to the profiles because then we can see some more statistics as well. We had a bad end of the season there. Obafemi got 31 goals, only behind Euspinen or Estupinian. Nailed the second time. He has got 36. Obviously, he's probably scored quite a lot at the end there. What I'm looking at, though, Hatem Ben Arfa. He got 18 assists there.
Good.
So he knows the league inside out now.
Yeah.
He's played really well. But guess what? He's retiring.
Oh, right.
He had a good season.
Yeah.
He's retiring next season. Why not say a year early?
Yeah.
Very strange. So we got him for another year anyway, but he is starting to decline.
How do we do in the FA Cup?
So we'll get to that. Calm down.
all right.
All right. Jesus. Norwich champions. Watford second. As you kind of expect, 2 teams who just came down. Watford maybe is a little bit of a shock because they've been terrible in real life.
Norwich whopped it, didn't they? That's hell of a bring in.
Yeah, definitely 9 points clear at the top there. Bristol City, Reading and Huddersfield all going down. In the other competitions, let's take a look. 3rd round, we faced Fulham. So that's unfortunate. We pulled a Premier League side there. And obviously Carabao Cup, we are out already. So goals-wise then, Obafemi probably has the most goals because he started up front, 31 there. And then he was backed up by 10 goals from Joe Pirro and Jamie Patterson, who looks like they've been playing in that attacking midfielder role, all coming off the bench. And Ben Arthur got the most assists there with 18.
It's not bad though, is it? 3 players in double figures. So
yeah,
I mean, you like to think the other 2 are at 10. You like to think they're like pushing to 15.
That's right. Yeah.
Then you're going to be winning leagues. Then you've got 3 players then doing it.
Yeah, that's what we need to hopefully get to that point. If we look at our transfer money, we've only been given about $500,000, which in the Championship is not a lot at all, really, when you consider some of the money that some of these teams are buying now.
Yeah.
10 years ago, 500k, that'll get you a couple of good players that you just poached from lower league. But there's, even the likes of Wrexham, for instance, they're paying big money for players to drop down leagues now. So it's not the fact that you're playing in a league that can get you into the Premier League anymore. Money still talks.
Well, can you remember that player Rooney who moved from one of the Scottish
Everton
teams?
to United?
No, yeah. He moved from, I think it was from Aberdeen. and he moved to Salford.
Yes, that's right.
Who were non-league at the time.
Yeah.
Because of the money. So he was in the Scottish Premier, moved into the non-league because he knew Salford were going to be doing something.
Yeah.
But the money was there for him.
It was the exposure, I guess, as well.
Oh, yeah.
Paul Mullen, who moved to Wrexham, I watched the Wrexham documentary. I think he lives near there, so it was also played a big factor on his family and stuff. It meant that he could still live in Liverpool. I think that's where he was from. The exposure that's gone on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Now everybody knows who Paul Mullen is, and not just people who study lower league.
Yeah.
He's playing at Cambridge, scored loads of goals for Cambridge. Everybody who focuses on lower league football, the EFL, knew who Paul Mullen was. I've maybe heard of him, but I couldn't have told you who he was playing for. No. As soon as Wrexham signed him, I was like, oh, Paul Mullen, that's the guy who scores loads of goals.
Yeah.
So that's obviously it's the exposure that they try and go for, isn't it? For opportunities outside of football, which you can't blame them for.
No.
So let's see then. We'll go forward second season, see who we bring in now that Omega Luke and his dad are rebuilding them. Maybe they want some exposure on the Omega Luke YouTube channel. Okay, so I made a couple of signings, just the two, and one of them was only a loan deal, being this guy, James McAtee from Manchester City. He's quite a good player, only 20 years of age, so he is going to be using this as a developmental thing to maybe push Kevin De Bruyne out of the team.
A lot of the championship teams do this now, don't they?
Yeah, absolutely, because they can see the benefits from it, like the Mason Mounts and stuff like that. James Garner last season at Forest was unbelievable for their promotion push.
Yeah.
So things like that happen, and obviously it works for them. So James McAtee is definitely doing that for us. And the other signing we made, 450k, so we made use of our transfer budget. Ben Pearson from Bournemouth. He's a very good centre midfielder who, to be honest, can play in a lot of major roles, really, in that centre mid. If you want him to be a ball player, you can kind of do that without passing. But also, if you want him to be a ball winner, tackling ability of 14, and he's got very good work rate, so it's a bit of a destroyer package as well. That's what I like about him. 28, so he's still got a few years left in the Championship. Quite a good player in the Championship as well. Played a few seasons in the Premier League, or played a few games in the Premier League last year. Definitely worth bringing him in.
Yeah.
Come through the Man United Youth Academy. I don't remember his name, but there we go. Those are the two signings that we have brought in. Tactically, I think, to be honest, we might as well stick at it what we've got.
Yeah.
I think we've improved the team.
That's what you need to do, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the formation seemed to work last season. So
it's the luck of the playoffs, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can be the best team going into it. I mean, again, Wrexham. Sorry to bring up Wrexham, another Welsh team, but they got to the playoffs last year and lost in the playoffs. They were easily the best team.
Yeah.
But they lost in the playoffs. It's obviously the luck of the draw in the playoffs order, who turns up on the day. But I still want Obafemi playing as many games as possible. Maybe not Ben Arthur as much anymore, because if you look at this as who's the best fitted for this role, Ben Arthur's not even in the top page. He's dropped all the way down here because obviously his physicals are plummeting. Maybe not the best idea to suggest to play him every single game now that we got the likes of James McAtee on loan as well. So we'll see how that does. But first off, we'll take a look at the schedule. It's not as good as the start of last season. We've got 2 draws instead of the 1, but no losses whatsoever. And we're even beating teams like Braga in friendlies.
So all right.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Well, friendlies are a little bit pointless anyway on Foot Manager Dimension, but still. 2-1 against Blackpool to start things off. We had a penalty win in the first round after being knocked out in penalties the season before. Ben Arthur actually scored in that game. Peterborough, 1-1 draw. They've come back up, the Posh. And Ipswich, who also got promoted last year, another 1-1 draw. It's a difficult one, really, isn't it? Because Ipswich are quite good, considering the RN League 1. And then the EFL Cup second round, we're through on that because we beat Wigan 3-0.
That's a good result.
Yeah, and we've got Coventry in the next round, so we could get quite far in that competition, you know.
Yeah, that's all right now.
The trophy that we won back in 2013 or whenever it was. Not a bad start. We are 12th, though, in the Championship because of those 2 draws that have dropped us quite a lot of points and only winning 1. But it's a long old season in the Championship, and I think it's some of the most exciting times in the Championship because I think there was like a statistic this season, people can correct me if I'm wrong, but the gap between 6th and 21st was like 3 or 4 points at one point. It was mental.
Oh, it was, yeah.
And we were talking like 15 games in. So that's how entertaining the Championship can be at some points. It's just...
You look at the teams that are above us as well. Like you got Brighton and Crystal Palace obviously come down.
Yeah.
Sat there ready to go back up again, and they really...
Yeah, that's it. They look like somebody else in this league. Look. Norwich who are champions every other season, which means they've been relegated the other 2 years. Which I always find quite funny when you see things like that. Right. Okay. Let's simulate the second season. Second season, and we gain promotion through the playoffs.
Get in.
That's what we needed. We beat Blackburn. They lost in the final again. 3-0
Oh.
this time round. That's payback for me. You should have sacked me, you bastards. We also beat Middlesbrough in that semi-final as well.
Good result then.
Definitely.
So Crystal Palace didn't make it because they got beat by Blackburn as well.
Beat by Blackburn. So who went up was Bournemouth, who obviously was the other team that got relegated, and Sunderland. So that's quite good for Sunderland.
Middlesbrough and Crystal Palace, and Brighton. Good.
Brighton not going back up. You think how good their team actually is? That is mental, isn't it? So we had quite a nice finish to the end there. 84 points is how we finished. We were nowhere near automatic promotion, but only 3 points behind third place. And if you think 4 points, that's a very tight playoff run there, isn't it? Between all the teams. Goal scorers though, do we have anybody over Femi there? 33 again. So that's really good that he's consistently getting around about 30 in the championship. That's fantastic for us. And Oliver Cooper there with the highest average rating, which is not bad at all. So really good stuff from us to get ourselves promoted into the next division. Right, cup competitions. Did we have a nice little cup run maybe to go alongside it? No, third round in the FA Cup, semi-final.
Ooh.
In the Carabao.
We did do well then.
Only knocked out by Manchester United, who stuffed us 9-4 on aggregate. That's high scoring.
Yeah.
Imagine saying you scored 4 goals against Man United in the semi-final. You'd be thinking, hello. They went on and faced Brentford in the final there. Did they win that? They did, 1-0. But I want to see who we defeated along the way. We knew we beat Coventry. Then we knocked out Wolves, who were a Premier League side. In the quarterfinals, Everton.
Ooh.
I mean, they are Premier League, but standard-wise, probably Championship.
Yeah.
So there we go. Not bad at all.
But in the FA Cup, in 1999, we were the lowest team in the lowest league.
Yeah.
This is a record that we beat a team from the Premiership in the FA Cup.
Yeah.
First team ever to do it from the bottom league to do the Premier League.
That would have been Division 3 or Division...
Yeah, Division 3, yeah. And we beat West Ham.
Wow.
And it was a good result because we were 1-0 up at West Ham.
Yeah. And
they scored late on and make it 1 each. But when we come back to our place, we beat them 1-0. But they had Rio Ferdinand playing from. Joko.
1919, that would have been.
Yeah.
Canio there?
John Hartson. I think he might have been.
Yeah.
Who else was it? Oh, Frank Lampard was there as well.
Frankie Lampard.
Yeah. So they had some good players there at the time. Yeah. But to do that, that's a hell of a record, isn't it? Well, a game.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Especially to do it at your own pitch as well. That's even better, isn't it?
Yeah.
When you bring them home to your own pitch. I mean, the excitement of going away to a big ground like that for a Division 3 side, all the crowd want to go, we'll go to West Ham and watch our own team play. To get the draw, then bring them back to our place and win.
God, yeah.
It's a hell of a result, isn't it? But,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Same as us. Unlucky semi-final of the Carabao Cup from a championship side. That's not bad at all.
Nope.
35 goals from Obafemi. We got Matt Grimes coming in there with 13, so that's not bad considering he is playing centre midfield, in that DM role. James McAtee, what a loan signing that was, because 11 goals and 10 assists and the highest average rating of 7.19. So really good. Unfortunately, we're going to be missing him going into the Premier League. And then Oliver Cooper there with 10 assists and 9 goals as well from that attacking midfielder role. And he is Welsh too, so a young Welsh player there, 24 years of age. Not bad at all. How much money have we got going into the Premier League though? It is a grand total of £38 million, which is not bad.
That is good.
That is not bad at all. That's a lot better than some of the crap I've been given when we go into the championship.
You can easily get 4 good players for that, can you really? For our
definitely.
standard.
A couple of free signings and you're saving some, you never know. But before we take a look at the third season, today's video is sponsored by Manscaped. Valentine's Day is approaching, fellas, and Cupid demands that you use Manscaped. Now listen, whether you already have a partner or you'll still search one for the most romantic day of the year, Manscaped.com have all the tools to make sure that any wandering hands do not get put off. Imagine taking somebody out for dinner, putting on all of your best moves, and then end up cock-blocking yourself because you haven't trimmed the genie that grants 3 wishes. So I propose that we make, as a collective, February the 13th, National Shave Your Balls Day. And I'm going to help you out by handing you 20% off plus free shipping when you head to manscaped.com and you use code OMEGA. Now, the Platinum Package is an amazing addition to your morning routine. It will turn all the heads of the special ladies in your life. Oh man, I've had compliments from men at wrestling all the time because I smell amazing, and that's because I use Manscaped. I can't tell you how many Manscaped refined aftershaves I've sold because of wrestling. Of course, the Lawnmower 4.0 is a godsend as well. It has skin-safe technology technology which reduces all the nicks and cuts of your delicate parts, and it has a light on it if you want to shave in the dark. Why you would want to do that, I don't know, but you could. Now with the Platinum package, you also get the Hygiene Bundle, which will leave you feeling fresh from head to toe. There's a body wash, shampoo, we've got a body spray, and a roll-on deodorant. So be prepared this Valentine's Day and finish it off with Manscaped's refined signature cologne, and increase your chances at the end of the night scoring an injury time winner. Manscaped.com, use code OMEGA at checkout for 20% off and free shipping. Okay, let's start off then with some signings. The first man that we brought in through the door, Axel Tuanzebe from Manchester United. I think this guy, if he was given first-team football, would be really good.
Yeah.
And I think Football Manager feels the same way. He always has a good potential, but in real life, he's never given the game time when he's gone on loan and stuff, and he's never really performed because of that. I remember one game where he absolutely pocketed Kylian Mbappe in a Champions League game.
Yeah.
We've bought him from Leicester, who bought him from Man United for £5.25 million. He's played 4 games for us already. He is going to be a first-team starter at centre-back, but he's not the only name that we've brought in for centre-back. But unfortunately, we've got one of those stories again, a work permit problem.
Oh, no.
For a guy called Van Heck that we've got from Brighton. So I thought, oh, it would be absolutely fine. Because I glossed over the fact that the work permit got rejected, it just said to sign him.
Yeah.
I just said sign. And then I was like, why can't I register him? The reason for it, Luke, is he didn't have a work permit. So that's $5 billion down the drain. But still, there we go. Maybe we can log him on for next year. We have spent more money, though. Now, this, I think, is a really good signing. Smart signing as well, because he's young. And maybe if he does get poached from us, it gives us more money in the future. But Diamonde, £5.75 million. He's got an assist already. From FC Nordsjælland, from the Right to Dream Academy as well in Ghana. He's a quality centre-attacking midfielder or centre midfielder, so he can definitely do a job. Football Manager fans absolutely love him because they know you can go for a very reliable, cheap player.
Yeah.
And he's good. And that's the reason why I brought him in as well. I think we've made the most out of free transfers, but we will get to that. But I've also signed another centre-back once I realised we couldn't register Van Heck. We've gone for this guy, Diakite. So really, although we've only spent £7.5 million, technically it's 12 because the other guy we can't register. It is what it is. This guy is quite good though, to be fair. And the fact that he's come from Lille, who was playing in European football, to the Premier League.
Yeah, he's got a bit of experience there.
Yeah. Very good. Like, physically, he's okay. We'll see what he can do in the Premier League for us. Free transfers, though. I think this is a great upgrade to the goalkeeper. Casteels, Belgium international, played 4 games for Belgium. From Wolfsburg, who was their #1 goalkeeper, coming in for our #1 goalkeeper. So, yeah, that's a great signing for us. 32 years of age, still got some years left yet, pal. Then, Eddie Salcedo, a striker, Italian. Very well groomed, isn't he? That's turkey teeth, definitely turkey teeth, isn't it? Also from Colombia. So has that sort of South American, but also Italian pizzazz. What a perfect combination that we've got there. Not the best compared to what he has been on previous Football Managers, but he's still decent, and he's got 2 goals for us in 4 appearances.
I'll take that.
Yeah, he did get 16 a couple of seasons ago as well, so really good. Eddie Salcedo. This is a great transfer listed pickup that I think from Brighton in the league below. 25 years of age. I think he's really good as a centre defensive midfielder who is just going to be a good squad player as a rotation option. So he's played in the Premier League before. We can maybe do it again. The loan signing of Matisse Tell, though, from FC Bayern Munich. Young. He's only 19. Very good player indeed. We'll see what he can do playing up front for us or from that centre attacking midfield role. We will see. The other couple of players that we've got free transfers there. We got Dina Ibembe. Sorry. Right midfielder. I think this guy is to be really good because he's good defensively and going forward. Just as like one of those options for us. It's just good at everything. And then Pizzella on the left-hand side, probably better than that.
See, he looks Italian as well, doesn't he?
He does,
I knew he was Italian even before I even looked at his nationality.
Handsome bastard, isn't he?
Yeah.
So Giuseppe Pizzella, the most Italian name you could get as
probably,
well.
Yeah.
I bet all he eats is pasta and lasagna. So we've got this guy. I think he's a really good left-sided player for us. It's you could probably see him at a top club and he'd fit in, to be honest. His physicals are really good. So those are the signings that we have brought in. I don't think I've missed anybody there, have I? No. Those are the signings that we have brought in. On the outs, there's literally just a few of the players that were in the championship that maybe like the likes of Joe Allen. Fortunately, we actually lost Joe Perreault, who scored quite a lot of goals for us. He went to Braga, so that shows how good he actually is. Didn't want to sign a new contract, even though we were going into the Premier League.
Yeah, it's unusual, really, isn't it?
So he moved to Braga. Very good player, so it's unfortunate we lost him. And Oliver Nchan as as well, who I remember this guy was like really touted to be like the next big thing from French football when he moved from somewhere to Celtic, but never really amounted to anything. So there we go. So tactically, we have changed things from what we were like in the Championship, but obviously that's going to be kind of needed.
Yeah.
We've gone to the wing backs being more attacking to a little bit more defensive. We still got the 2 DM roles. We've gone 2 up top instead of 3 at the back. But I tend to find that 3 at the back formations in the Premier League don't work unless you're literally playing park the bus football.
Yeah.
So we're going to try Matisse Tell, and then obviously
I think with the players that we've bought, we can afford to try it.
Yeah, exactly. Obafemi and Salcedo is going to be very counter-attacking football. We got only 2 players who are on that attacking mentality. The rest are support roles. So this is my favourite combination for the DM roles, a DM and a volante. We'll see how it goes, I guess. Now, this I have been tweaking it as well throughout the start of the season, because schedule-wise we're going to see there are some bad results, but it's our first season in the Premier League. Every game's going to be difficult. We started off against Leicester, getting a draw in the 93rd minute. So welcome back. But then West Ham a 1-0 loss. So this is where it started getting worse.
Yeah.
I thought we could probably do something against Norwich. Unfortunately, 86th minute penalty. Then we scored 3.
That's a good game, you know, against Arsenal. You take that any time, really, wouldn't you?
It's just unfortunate though that they had scored 4.
Yeah.
And then we even lost in the EFL Cup against Hull, but maybe, I mean, Oliver Cooper got himself sent off after scoring, and then we conceded. Well, we conceded right before that and then right after that. So that's unfortunate. And it's not an easy September.
No.
So we might have another Blackburn situation on our hands where I might be given the boot before I even get a chance.
I see we're going to come up with. We're going to come up against Leeds now, and we got something in common with Leeds.
It's got to be something to do with the kit, surely.
No, it's to do with the manager.
Okay.
Or a manager. Swansea were the first Premier League team to hire an American manager.
Oh, really?
A gentleman called Bob Bradley.
Oh, I remember him. Bob Bradley.
He only lasted 85 days.
Yeah.
He had two wins from 11 games.
From a soccer AM used to do the thing. I'm Bob Bradley.
Yeah. So they got rid of him.
Yeah. Megnuts and stuff like that.
The quickest manager to get sacked, 85 days.
Yeah.
That's why I thought I took that in, because the second American manager, and he gone again.
Yeah.
But he lasted a little bit longer than what ours did. So.
Yeah. Oh, God, I remember. Because he signed his son, Michael.
Yeah.
I think. And that obviously didn't work out as well either.
No, he wasn't that good, no, was he? He kept on picking the ball and throwing it, didn't he?
This is football, right?
Yeah. No, we're playing soccer.
Yeah. Or the Americans watching him like, great.
Yeah.
Taking the mick out of us now. Uncalled for, Luke. Sorry. Okay, so not a great start to the season. Let's see if we can hang on, because, of course, the money in the Premier League only gets better as long as you stay in there.
Just try and get above that top
money,
three, the bottom three. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's see what we can do in this 3rd season. Okay, we survived by the skin of our teeth. 17th place.
I'll take that.
We actually survived by 5 points, so it wasn't too bad.
We tried chucking it away. Look,
we did. Only 1 win from the final, and that was against Norwich, who actually were the team above us and also survived. Yeah, the 3 teams.
So our
that
10
went
games
down,
we won. Just to curiosity, who did we actually beat?
Who did we beat? I mean, 10 games is quite a lot, to be fair. Only Man City was really the one that you'd think
away from home as well.
Yeah,
away from home.
At the Etihad.
Man City comes second in the league, 2 points behind Liverpool.
Yeah.
We cost them the league.
We basically did. You could look at that. Other than that, though, it's literally all the teams around us.
Yeah.
I think we beat the 2 relegated teams away and at home. So that's not bad, is it? And Nottingham Forest.
That's the games when you look at your fixture list. That's the games you think we've got to win these games.
Yeah.
The rest of the games are against the top 6 and that you think we'll take a draw or whatever it comes our way. But those bottom games you've got to win.
I think the only one that we lost against was Brentford. We won 1 and lost 1 against Brentford, but. Yeah, fantastic that we actually managed to just keep beating the teams around us.
Yeah.
And that's, take points off them. They're 6 pointers in there at the end of the day. Do we have anybody in the statistics? That would be quite hilarious if we did. We didn't, other than the yellow cards. Obviously, we expect that. But we got the likes of Lukaku and Erling Haaland coming around us.
Yeah.
So that's going to be very difficult for us to continue to do. Right. Okay. Well, great start in our Premier League season. Let's take a look at the other competitions, though. Did we manage to have a nice little cup run? Let's take a look. 5th round by Villa, 2nd round obviously we seen by Hull, so not so much in the FA Cup. Who was scoring the goals? We got Matisse Tell, Loney, with 16 goals from 35 games, and Eddie Salcedo 16 goals from 34 games. However, he is now out with damaged cruciate ligaments. 6 to 9 months, because he only did it in April.
Yeah.
So that's basically the first quarter, maybe a third of the season, where we don't have either of those strikers, because Matisse Tell.
So we've got to buy 2 strikers then, really, haven't we?
We need to find another striker. Obafemi played a bit of a substitute role, I guess, this year, and only scored 6 goals. And Diamonde, he came in, 13 assists. I think he can hold his head up high, because he's done very well there. Without him, we probably went down. Morgan Whittaker played quite a bit, Dad.
Yeah.
Do you know who Morgan Whittaker is?
Nope.
He is the guy who played for Plymouth Argyle for the first 6 months.
All right.
And Swansea recalled him trying to sell him for Rangers.
That's right.
And never did, and it doesn't look like they're going to be playing him anymore. And he was easily the best player Argyle had this season, and it doesn't look like now. Because I think he actually won Player of the Month a couple of times.
Yeah.
He's outstanding for us. I think even the games that we played on television, he was scoring winners.
Talking about best player of our Argyle, I still think it's our goalkeeper. And we've just lost him. We were just talking about that for the rest of the season. Which, I mean, we're sat in second position now behind I think possibly the best team in the league, Sheffield Wednesday.
Yeah, they got Barry Bannon.
Yeah, I mean they are playing really, really well. Yeah. So we're just holding our fingers tight that that we keep that second space above Ipswich and Derby coming through as well.
Yeah, we want to be playing Swansea next year in the Championship.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, but that's a big blow for us, really, isn't it?
Absolutely. And Swansea, you took away Morgan Whittaker.
Yes.
How dare you? Well, actually, we did replace him with quite a few good players. To be fair, I think we had quite a good transfer window. We just don't expect to see that big injury to your number one goalkeeper.
No.
Okay, so not bad then. What about money? Next season, £25 million. Less than what it was the first season. Still enough, though.
Yeah.
Still enough to actually make some damage to the team. And the loans, it's the debts starting to be paid off quite nicely there. Okay, 4th season. Now, the first bit of business I want to tell you about is Jean-Paul Van Heck, because even though we bought him for £4.6 million and couldn't play him for any games, we managed to sell him for more money. Oh, look at that. That is wheeling dealing.
Yeah, definitely,
I knew exactly what I was doing the whole time. Unbelievable stuff. That's pretty much all the money that we got in from players. The rest of it, this actually, I think, so we needed 2 strikers.
Yeah.
We established that. The first thing I went and did, I went and got the 2 best strikers that I could find from lower league clubs. One of them, Sunderland. Cameron Archer, he is an English striker, 23 years of age. He is fantastic, very pacey, great composure, great off the ball, great finishing. I like him a lot.
Yeah.
I can't believe nobody's really told me about him or said that they've used him. Cost £11 million from Sunderland, who bought him to play in the Premier League when they got promoted off of, looks like Villa.
I mean, you look at his last 3 seasons, he's banging in a few goals.
Yeah, and
he's already got 3 for us as well. Yeah, happy days with that.
Yeah, Cameron Archer, what a player. And then the other signing that we got from lower league was Stoke, Emre Tezgel. I know this guy's got good potential because I've done a YouTube short on him. He's only 19 years of age. He needs an haircut, but still 6 foot. Good striker, good potential, and he scored 3 goals as well in 4 appearances in the Premier League, playing at Stoke in the Championship.
That's
all
right.
Didn't really use him a lot either. No. But we're giving him first team football in the league above.
Yeah. And he's banged in 3 goals already.
He's banged in 3 goals. So what you doing, Stoke? You should have been using him. You probably would have got more money for him because we only paid £12 million, which from the Championship is a lot of money. But when they are banging in goals like that, that's his price doubled.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's take a look at the other players though, because I did spend £9 million on Czech Decore, who is a centre midfielder, quite young as well, 25, really good in that defensive midfield role because again, he's like a jack of all trades. He's a bit of a destroyer because he can tackle, but his passing ability is fantastic. He can also dribble the ball, take it forward as well. So that's what I like about him. I've actually watched quite a few Palace games this year and I've been impressed by him.
Yeah.
So when I seen that he was interested or could be persuaded to come to the club, I was like, I'll go for him. So £9 million is how much I paid for him, which is half of what they paid for him, considering he was down in the Championship. That's probably the reason why, because he's done all right in the Championship, really good like average rating there. And he's got 1 assist for us in 4 games in the Premier League, so this is where he deserves to be playing. There's also a couple of loan deals here. I think this is where I set it up for my director of football to do the youth academy stuff. But this one I've done myself. Alberto Malero, he is fantastic. Another one of those centre midfielders, but can also play from the left should we need to play that role. We signed him from Man United, who signed him from Las Palmas on a loan fee. I hate the loan fees on this. I spoke to you before about there's like errors in the game and bugs that I've found.
Yeah.
One of the things that I've questioned is when you go to loan a player, it is almost impossible to loan a player just by paying his wages. They always try and rip you off and want a monthly cost, and I don't think that's realistic.
No.
Because you never hear about those monthly costs when you see loan deals happen in real life. Whether they don't tell you or they don't exist, obviously, that's a grey area. But I feel like on Football Manager, it's almost impossible to loan a player just by paying his wages. They always want more.
Yeah.
But it's also impossible to loan out a player and get the same deal, and I think that's why it's unrealistic.
Yeah.
If it worked both ways,
Fair enough. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
But this guy, or even though we're paying a monthly fee, probably worth it when he's getting us 5 assists in 4 games.
Yeah.
He is quality, to be fair. Really talented youngster on this game. He's very good. Who else have we brought in? One more player. I think this one's the most excited to be for a Swansea fan or even a Welsh fan. He's watching.
Is he Welsh?
Gotta be with
Gotta be,
Gareth
isn't he?
Roberts,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, he's
He is
Welsh.
a regen or a new gen, and he looks amazing. As soon as I did my little attribute searching of trying to find a striker, I didn't go for him to begin with because I wanted my first team strikers. And then when I had a little bit of money left, I was like, well, maybe I can get him. So I did, £4.5 million. Now my plan is to not really play him this season because, again, he's only 18. He plays from the right when I think he looks better as a striker anyway, so he doesn't actually play up front where I think his attributes suit best, but he does look very good.
Yeah.
And he's got some under 21 caps as well, and I think for £4.5 million, that is an absolute steal. But that's all the transfer business out of the way. Tactically, has things changed in our 4th season? No, not so much. We have got Tesco and Archer up front though, which is the reason why a lot of people have probably seen it. We're currently sat in 3rd place now because schedule-wise, we have won a few games. We've only lost one, that being against Brighton. We've also beat Exeter 4-0.
Get in.
Let's look at the Premier League games though. 1-0 against Bournemouth.
Take
Good
that.
result.
Yeah.
Cameron Archer. Aston Villa. We signed basically Cameron Archer from, he was an ex-player, maybe, yeah, he signed that from there, yeah. So a former Aston Villa player scored the winner against them. Then we played Brighton and lost 1-0. Unfortunately, Leandro Trossard, who's not actually there anymore, to a penalty. Then we beat Luton, who's got themselves promoted.
Good on him.
5-1.
Yeah, that's a hell of a result as well,
Really
isn't
good
it?
result. So, yeah, good start to the league campaign. Yes, we're not playing any of, like, the big 6 or whatever it is, or the big 5 is what Dad calls it. He doesn't count Spurs in there. Oh, you might count Spurs now because Lloris is injured.
Oh, yes.
The first thing Dad messaged me as soon as that happened was, happy days, and it was like, Lloris injured.
Yeah. Brilliant. 6 weeks we got without him. After that Man City result, I mean, that was such a different team play, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
I'd take that team every week if they played like that. Lloris didn't do
absolutely.
I was quite funny because Lloris kept he could have just took it off, put it back, and not get back up again.
Yeah.
He didn't have to do nothing, did he?
No, that's probably the reason why you won. Right, so let's see how we get on in this 4th season then and see if we can...
Well, I've got a little
Go on,
story
then.
first. A little story for you about a sub.
All right.
A gentleman called Walter Boyd in season 2000.
Yeah.
He's the fastest sub to be sent off.
What a record to have.
And do you know how long he was on the pitch? Well, how long?
Gotta be seconds. Has to be like 10 seconds.
In play?
Yeah.
None. He's gone on the pitch,
Right.
and as he's running on the pitch, he's whacked one of their players. The referee ain't even started the game yet. The referee's seen it off. So he come on the pitch and had to go run off again.
That is amazing. What,
Brilliant.
was it like a playful punch? Or just...
I didn't actually see it, so I was just reading about it, and all I just said they just collided or something. So you can imagine they're just giving. He's obviously running on the pitch or something, and the Darlington players probably said something to him, and he just it barged into him or hit him or something, and then, referee seen it. Off you go, mate.
Can you imagine
didn't even start the game.
His manager, right? Walter, I want you to get stuck in, mate.
Yeah.
Go in there, let him know you're there.
Yeah.
Not that quick, Walter. What are you doing? That is amazing.
I wonder if he asked, could he change his mind?
Yeah.
He hadn't started the game yet.
Yeah.
I can change my mind, can I?
Here's me, I can just sub somebody else on, right? Yeah. No, that is.
Yeah, so he's actually down as no seconds played.
That's some record.
And he come on,
right?
yeah.
That is some record. All right, let's simulate this 4th season. 4th season, and that's a good result.
Definitely.
Right in 9th place, right behind those European spots. That's absolutely fantastic there. In behind Manchester United and Tottenham there. Only by 4 points as well off those top teams.
That's good though. I would settle for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think getting into the European competition would have been too much for us, really.
Yeah. I agree. Goals-wise, we don't really see the two players that we expect maybe that could be there, but that could be because they're sharing the goals.
Yeah,
And
I mean, that's a lot of goals for one player to be scoring, and
Yeah,
you don't
when
expect
we're playing-
our players to be like that, do you?
Exactly, when we're playing two up top
Yeah.
as well. So that's great. So really good league campaign. What about the cup competitions? 4th round by Chelsea, 4th round by Wigan. So probably the reason why maybe the back end of our season might have been a lot better, because by the looks of it here, it wasn't great at the start. December and January.
Well, you look on there
February
as
was
well.
not
Man
great.
City won the league. We actually beat them 3-2.
We beat them 3-2, so that's twice now we beat Man City.
Yeah.
There. But the back end of our season was a lot better, because in the last 3 months we only lost 1 game. That was to Leeds right at the end of the season there. Probably when we didn't have anything to play for.
No.
Because by then the European spots were already taken. We were like, oh, well, okay.
They got an hammering from Spurs, and then they something changed, and then you went on a good run then.
An hammering from United and Spurs, like a 3-0 and a 6-3.
Yeah, true,
So, and then a draw against Forest, and then things kicked on quite nicely. We had a fantastic March, only 3 games played, all 3 wins, and we scored some goals as well.
Yeah.
Really good performance at the back end of our season. If we had that at the start, we'd probably look at Champions League football.
Yeah.
Because that's Champions League football, like, worthy. That's
100%,
top
yeah.
4 form those last 3 months. That's really good stuff. So let's take a look then at the squad and see how many goals did these 2 lads pick up. So Cameron Archer got 23, 21 from Tesco.
So that's good, though, isn't it?
Yeah, 44 goals from those 2.
Yeah.
And Malero there with 10 with 11 assists. Not bad.
That's going to keep us in that league every season.
Yeah,
You got
that's it.
2 strikers they got.
And those 2 players, like, they're not wanted by anybody. They're just, they're happy to stay here. They're delighted to be at the club. We need to potentially give them European football in the next couple of years, but they're not, they're 20 and 24. They're finding their way, aren't they, as they say. So let's take a look then. How much money do we have to back them up? £40 million. That's not bad
I'm happy with that.
for a final season. I just know.
There's going to be 70, 80
It's
million.
going to be like 80, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
It'll be like, oh, we just scraped relegation. Here's 80 million. But Patreon members like, come on, let's go. For anybody who wants to take this on, by the way, patreon.com/Megaloot Gaming. The link is also down in the description underneath the Manscaped link. You get this at the end of the 5th season for the £5 tier, and Dad will set you a task for the next 5 years. So, thank you to everybody who's on my Patreon. Let's take a look then. 5th season. Let's see how we do and who we bring in. First signing in the door is a big one. Moises Caicedo. Now, there was talks in this transfer window just gone that this lad was going to go for £100 million to Arsenal. And then I think they realised that's a lot of money. I don't really want to pay that.
Well, usually Chelsea pinch him if Arsenal's interested.
There was also links of him going to Chelsea as well, to be fair. Then they got Enzo Fernandez instead. But Moises Caicedo, there was a time when Man United was linked with him for about £5 million. Then he moved to Brighton, and he's been phenomenal for Brighton. In this universe, though, again, £5 million, unbelievable stuff, really. In this universe, he went to Bournemouth for £26 million. They got relegated last season, so we picked him up for £25 million, because I think he is very good, and he's only aged 24. Exactly what I'm looking for in this league, compared to where in the Championship, where these technical attributes you might see, but you won't see very good physical or mentals. You need all 3 in this league to be really good in centre mid, and this guy has it. He's fantastic. There's very little cons if you look at it. Weakest attribute, he can't cross the ball. We don't need him to cross. He play in the centre, and he should be put on individual training to improve his strength. It's still 10. That's still good enough for me. So Moises Caicedo, he was phenomenal in the World Cup as well, I thought, but they're not the only signing. Look at this for a signing. Christian Pulisic.
Ooh, we're going to try an
He's
American.
by Michael Bradley.
Yeah.
So Christian Pulisic, I'm trying to teach him to kick the ball, not throw it. He is a free transfer after leaving Chelsea.
He's a good player.
Great player.
Yeah.
I think he's just been quite unlucky, really, at Chelsea. There are 2 more signings, though. One of them from Nottingham Forest, Lewis Jr. He is a backup goalkeeper, because we just lost our backup goalkeeper. Quite a good one as well, to be fair. 6'4", big Brazilian in goal. I like that.
We've said it for a while, haven't we? We like our Brazilians.
We do. We haven't signed one for a while, have we?
Him.
Miko van Sass. This is our first team goalkeeper, though. This one's quite a good one. I don't think I've ever seen this goalkeeper before, but he is coming through. It looks like he played at Man City. He's gone out on loan. Then he went to Heracles. Then we signed him for £4.1 million after a good season for Heracles in the 2nd division in the Netherlands. He got 14 clean sheets. Now he's in Big Boy League. Because he's in the Premier League now. He needs to step up.
Unfortunately, he's already conceded 11 goals in 5 games. That's a
conceded
problem.
11 goals.
That ain't looking good, is it?
But those we did sell Castiles, who was our goalkeeper we got on a free transfer for £8 million. So that's good business, because then we brought him in for half the money and another £2 million for his backup. So we've done really good business there, I think. So tactically, we have changed it. We've gone to a 4-3-1-2, and we're trying to train Christian Pulisic as a segundo volante in the CDM role. It's basically the only role he hasn't played yet. But I think he would be quite good at it. Although his passing's not good, the segundo volante, I kind of want him to be picking the ball up deep and running with it forward. And I think Christian Pulisic can do that.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see how this does. And all I've done really is just change the positions around into the roles that I kind of like in this format, in this formation. Let's see how it does. I think maybe against the big teams, we've seen the teams that we are beaten. Against the big teams, that formation might not have favoured us.
No.
And I'm hoping that this will be a little bit more solid defensively and not. And I did toy around with it during pre-season, because you can see I played the original formation at the start of the season, and then I started tweaking it and changing it against Arsenal. Unfortunately, we lost to Man City 5-1. But that didn't really turn me off, and I'm still playing around with the roles here when we lose to Newcastle and then to Palace. And then I think I struck gold with this one.
Yeah.
7-2 win. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
7-2 win against Watford. I know it's only Watford who probably only just been promoted, but we'll see, because it felt like when I was watching the game there, it was a lot better. Tuanzebe got 2, Tezgil got 2, Cameron Archer got 1, Caicedo and Diamonde with another.
We've got another little record I'd like to tell you about.
Oh, they like their records to Swansea, don't they? Come on then.
They are joint place as the fastest team to be promoted from the bottom league to the top league.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, joint with another team. Can you guess what team that would be?
Would it be Eddie Howe's Bournemouth?
No.
Okay.
Wimbledon.
Oh really?
Yeah. In 1977, they took on John Toshak as their manager from Liverpool, and their fortune changed then. So he got them up through the leagues and into the Premier League. That was 1981. They got in the Premier League.
Yeah.
By 1985, they sacked him, and within 5 years of getting in the Premier League, they were in the bottom league again. Up and down.
Wow.
Yeah. So he'd done so well getting them up there.
Yeah.
Within 4 years.
Yeah.
Then within another 5 years, they're back in the bottom league again.
Wow.
So it's such a, that's the way things go in football, though, isn't it? You know.
When was the Wimbledon one?
I can't
Do you know?
remember that now. I can remember them getting up there, but I don't know what year it was in now.
Yeah, because it must have been around about the same time.
Yeah. Well, probably wasn't far off, because that's when they won the FA Cup as well. When they were
Isn't
in the
it weird that John Toshak went from Liverpool, did you say, to Swansea?
Yeah, when he finished.
Because don't you think that happened quite a lot in like the 70s? Because didn't the same thing happen with what's his face, who we love from Forest? He went to Brighton, was it? Who were like lower league?
Brian Clough.
Clough, yeah.
Yeah, Cloughie, yeah.
I'm pretty sure he went lower league.
Yeah, he did,
after
I think.
like winning European Cups.
Well, we're not in Forest, yeah, he did, yeah. Then he went to the Dirty Leeds, then, didn't he?
Yeah.
And it didn't work there, did it?
Well, before he went to Forest, sorry,
Yeah.
won it. So, yeah, then he went to Forest and obviously did everything that
Yeah.
he did. But yeah, I find it like, I love hearing stories from like the 70s and 80s where it's like our managers.
I mean, John Toshak, if you know John Toshak from the time, and when I was a little boy, when I was a little boy, it was him and Kevin Keegan playing for Liverpool.
Yeah.
What a partnership that was. Them two were just phenomenal together. And then for him to come away from Liverpool, because he's Welsh, and he took over Swansea, it was like a god coming to them, really.
Yeah.
And he just pushed them on then. And he took them right up through the leagues then. Within 4 years, so it was good.
Right, okay. 5th and final season. Let's see what we can do with the Swans. Final season then, and we finish in 10th place.
Still happy with that.
Only just behind Man City.
Yeah.
On the same points as Man City, who won. I'm pretty sure they won the league last year.
Yeah, they won the league last season, yeah.
What a fall from grace that is.
Yeah.
Okay, so 54 points. Turo Moble's at Newcastle, which is amazing, by the way. So Erling Haaland played for Man City, and they finished in 9th. That's mental. I want to know who their manager is now.
Well, you look at it, he scored 22 goals, and the rest of the other seasons he was in the 30s. So
I mean, it's Don Carlo is their manager.
Well,
surely he's not. He's like taken over halfway through. Yeah, he's been there 7 days. So Pep Guardiola was sacked at Christmas. Jason Wilcox took over for the rest of the season. Could not salvage anything, and then Carlo Ancelotti has been called in. So there's another reason why you might want to take over this Patreon save, is because Man City need a rebuild in a rebuild, which is hilarious, really. Okay, so that's not a bad season for us, though, considering how well the other teams have managed to do, really. I mean, Everton really, and Villa in third. Didn't see Villa creeping up there in third place. That's phenomenal stuff. Who's the manager? Is it Unai Emery still there?
Still there.
Okay, so he's done really well. Yeah. They've brought in the likes of Callum Hudson-Odoi.
Beautiful looking stadium, isn't it?
It does look good now. That's what I consider as like a good old-fashioned
English
British
stadium.
Yeah. Cup competitions, though. How have we done? Third round, second round. Not very good at all in the cups. We haven't been able to win one, have we? The only trophy we've got in the playoff.
Yeah.
I'm counting it. I'm counting it as a trophy. Let's look at the squad then. Who is scoring the goals? Tesgill got 17. Cameron Archer got 15. It's less than what they got last season. And unfortunately, they are wanted and they want to move to a bigger club. Well, one of them wants to move. The other one is just wanted. So you might have a job on your hands. However, I mean, he is worth £57 million. If you sold him, it might not be the worst thing. Christian Pulisic has done...
They're going to give you a budget of 50 million as well. So if you sell him, you're going to have a budget for 100 million.
Exactly, yeah. Christian Pulisic did well in the Segundo Volante role, getting 16 assists.
There you go.
So the perfect new role for him. It's like, you know, when you see like a player just all of a sudden start getting played somewhere different, like Joe Linton for Newcastle.
What different player?
He joined them as a striker, and now he's like playing as a really good box-to-box midfielder. This is what I've done here with Christian Pulisic. Who would have thought? He's the perfect Segundo Volante. Transfer-wise, you have... I told you. I knew it.
18 million.
18 million? That's more than what we said it would be. That's ridiculous. I hate it how much. I really need to start doing 6-year rebuilds.
You just sell that player now, don't you?
Yeah, and you got over 120 odd million.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Right, so 2 questions that we got for you here. Swansea at the Swansea.com Stadium. How long has it been called that?
Don't know.
Wasn't it the Britannia?
Yeah, I think it was.
Was it Britannia? I can't remember whether it was or not, but I can't remember what it was called before, but I definitely don't remember it being called Swansea.com Stadium. But anyway, what's the food like?
Yeah.
Is it nice? Is it horrendous?
It's a lovely stadium as well.
It is a nice stadium.
Yeah.
It's quite a fairly new one, isn't it? 2005.
Yeah. They have played a couple of international games here as well.
Yeah.
I think they played 3, if I remember rightly.
It's got that, because it's obviously all the way round, it's got that quite good atmosphere, isn't it? They're quite close to the pitch.
It's a typical championship stadium, I feel.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
really good. What's the food like there? Is it quite a nice stadium to go watch games at, whether you've watched it home or away? I've never been there, so I'd like to know your thoughts. We do read the comments, of course, and obviously Dad likes to reply to a lot of you guys and have good conversations with you. And the second question is, Dad, what is the challenge for people who are taking on the Patreon?
I'm going to just a small challenge, really. Obviously, staying in that league is the biggest challenge, I feel. But I think you've got a big enough squad, and with the budget you're going to get now, you could afford to buy yourself a couple of good players as well. So staying in that league is the main one, but I would like you to win a cup.
Yeah.
We know what cup I'm going to say, but I'll allow you to win either of the 2 cups.
Yeah, try and get yourself a trophy, see how it does.
But if you're really good, get into
Europe.
Get into Europe,
Yeah,
see if you can do it. If you can get into one of the European spaces, let me know.
That was, so I'll let you in on a little thing now. My target for this rebuild was to get them European football. Because they've been in Europe before, in the Europa League, obviously. I failed. But I think I came close. With obviously the last season, we did all right.
We didn't do bad, did we? We got
ninth and
1 place beyond.
finish.
Yeah, 1 in second, 2 places beyond. So that was good.
So, yeah, there we go. But there we have it. Thank you very much for watching. Leave all your suggestions in the comments section if you want to see.
Subscribe button as well.
Yes.
He's got a challenge.
100,000 subscribers. We want a nice plaque up on the wall here. And that'll be all thanks to you guys. If you can help us get there by pressing that subscribe button, we really do appreciate it.
Doing great, because it's going up quite quickly at the moment now, so let's keep it going.
Lovely stuff. And of course, if you want to support me even further, we got the Manscaped stuff. Help yourself while you're helping me. It's Valentine's Day. It would really work out for you, to be honest, for the lovely ladies in your life, or men, who knows. And then, of course, make sure you check out the Patreon if you want to take on the save game file, whether you want to rebuild Swansea or have a look at Man City. Thank you very much. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.